What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into X-Men issue number 20. And if you haven't been keeping up with the X-Men line, go ahead and check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on in this line. Now, this is written by Jonathan Hickman. Art is by Francisco Mobili. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we're jumping into this issue, it picks us up in the past. And we see Mystique, she's talking to the Oracle. And after a brief conversation, Mystique ends up finding her way over to Forge's lab. And Mystique has asked Forge to make a weapon that's going to make an impression. Now, Forge, when you tell somebody like Forge that you want a weapon that's going to be made to make an impression, that's a wide spectrum. You know, he can take you 1,000 different directions with that. And so he asked Raven, you know, how much of an impression are you trying to make here? And Mystique lets us know that she has total annihilation on her mind. And when she looks around Forge's lab, she knows that she's come to the right place. This place is literally littered with weapons of annihilation and destruction. And Mystique raises a question, you know, you're surrounded by so many weapons of death. How do you sleep at night with all of this surrounding you? And Forge gives us a really unique metaphor here. And he says, think of a stick of wood. You could craft it and shape it into something, or you could use it to beat someone to death. And while this is a very simplistic and human argument in Forge's words, but that's how he sees it. You know, the combustible engine, computer processing, atomic energy, genetic engineering, these are all glorious things that humankind did achieve. But humans, they take a useful tool and they find a way to make destruction with it. And they always say that we're gonna do this with the best of intentions. But as the saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And so Forge, he's not like that. He's not going to lie. When he makes something, it has a very specific purpose. Whether it be a simple ball or making a knife, what he creates with one singular purpose. And that's what brings us back to our stick analogy. You know, because at the end of the day, the stick is just a stick. Who wields it really depends on how it's going to be used. You know, and at this point, Mystique, she's kind of done with this back and forth game that they're playing, and she straight up asked him, like, are you going to help me or not? Because right now she is here on the authority of the Quiet Council. Xavier and Magneto both said that Forge needs to create a weapon for her. But Forge tells her, like, how can I possibly build a weapon for you if I don't know what the heck you're shooting at? And he lets her know, like, I could simply build you a matter-antimatter collider. But if you're going to use something like that, you have to use something like that off-world. And Mystique, she kind of just looks at him and doesn't say a single word. And that lets Forge know that this is an off-world mission. Not only is it an off-world mission, because when you say off-world mission, they only think of one thing right now, and that's Orcus, the organization that is hell-bent on the destruction and extinction of all of mutant kind. Orcus is made up of literally the brightest and the best scientific minds that humanity has to offer. For the first time in humankind, there is a real freaking threat against mutant kind. And he tells Mystique, you know, the worst weapon that he ever built was a weapon that turned mutants into humans. And he tells Mystique that he's going to build this weapon. He's going to build what she needs, but it's going to take him a couple of weeks because of the exotic materials that he's going to need to be able to build this. And that's what will pick us up in present day at the House of M. And Mystique now has her weapon, a weapon that Forge calls a microscopic singularity generator. And when this thing goes off, it's going to release a miniature black hole that will exist for a fraction of a second before collapsing in on itself. And so if all goes to plan, the Orcus Forge will be completely destroyed. And it's not going to be strong enough to reach Sentinel City, but it will be strong enough to take out the Forge. If they get any bigger with this bomb, it has a good chance of affecting the sun. and that's obviously something they don't want to happen. And so we see Charles and Magneto, they're telling Mystique, you know, they're gonna leave the small details of this operation up to her, because at the end of the day, she's the one going in there and risking everything, because the only thing that truly matters to Magneto and Charles is that Nimrod does not come back online. Because if Orchis gets this online, if they get Nimrod online, they're gonna have their mutant hunting sentinel yet again. And the reason Mystique is even going about and doing all of this is because she wants Irene resurrected. She wants Destiny resurrected. And Magneto and Xavier, they've been promising her this for quite some time now. Promising as long as she continues to do exactly what they're needing of her, that they will move Destiny to the front of the line. And they promise as long as she fulfills this mission, as long as she doesn't fail on this mission, that they're going to do that. But they really don't have intentions of doing that. And we're going to talk more about that as we get towards the end of the issue. But we see Mystique put on her disguise. She puts on her disguise and she makes her way into the secret portal that they have going up to the Forge. Now, picking up at the Forge, we see Dr. Gregor. Dr. Gregor has been working ridiculously hard because she wants to bring Nimrod back online. She wants to bring Nimrod back online so that she can be reunited with Captain Mendel. Because before he died trying to save this station, he had been a part of a very specific experiment. And the idea behind it was that they were using holographic memories grown inside of crystalline shells. And so the idea is they're going to kind of back up his memories into Nimrod. And so everybody has gathered here today to see this come online, to see Captain Mendel come back, but also see the rebirth of Nimrod. And she takes this memory crystals and she puts it into the chest. Putting it into the chest, we see it activate with a giant bright pink glow. And just like that, Captain Mendel, Nimrod, is now back online. And so Nimrod is now back online. He's active right now, accessing all of the memories of Captain Mendel. Realizing that he died, the world changed and his wife brought him back. Maybe not in the sense that he thought, but he is definitely back to life. His wife brought him back in a form that mutants could never be able to take out again. But this is when he also comes to the realization that he's never going to have a child. You know, this is one thing that he truly did want, and now that's no longer an option. But they do have one another. And so we see them embrace, you know, truly happy to have one another back. But this is when Nimrod, he looks over and immediately detects that there is a mutant in their presence. There is an imposter hiding among them. And Mystique's response is simply, oh, F, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go now. So we see Nimrod open up fire on Mystique, with Mystique blasting back. Nimrod using his body to cover his wife, only giving Mystique the opportunity to grab her little singularity bomb, arm it, and throw it at them. And this is where we see Nimrod duplicate. And Captain Mendel goes up to the bomb and recognizes it as a singularity. He knows exactly what's about to happen. He knows that this thing will literally destroy the entire station. Now, his body, Nimrod's body, was created with an internal translocator. Kind of like a matter displacement, if you will. And he tells his wife, you know, he can rebuild, he can regrow. Any mass lost by the host machine can be replaced. The issue up to this point is the memories haven't been able to really grab root and hold in his mind. And so if Captain Mendel were to try to put this bomb into his chest and use his body to displace the matter bomb, it's going to wipe any kind of memories that Captain Mendel has. It will be just Nimrod at the end of this. And his wife pleading, crying, begging for him not to do this. And he simply apologizes. But he is what he always has been. He would never, ever, ever save himself if it meant sacrificing his wife. And he tells his wife to think of it this way: you brought me back to life just so I could save you one last time. And we see him duplicate his body again, part of him grabbing it and teleporting outside of the station. And we see a giant explosion. And with that, the station is now secure. And Dr. Gregor, she looks up to what was once her husband, asking if he is still inside of there. But there is nothing more than Nimrod. And this is where we're taken to the duplicate of Nimrod taking on Mystique. He's been chasing her down this entire time, trying to capture her before she's able to get back to her portal. And as we see Mystique running just within arm's reach of the portal, Nimrod grabs her, tells her that she has failed her mission, and that when she returns home, she's going to tell her masters that today Nimrod was born back into existence. And the first thing that Nimrod experienced beyond the love of his creator was pain and loss at the hands of Mystique. And he lets Mystique know that he is Nimrod the Hunter, and he throws her into the portal and shoots her with an energy blast and tells her that she was here at his beginning. He will see all of them to their end. And we see Mystique on the other side of the portal with Charles and Xavier both watching as her almost lifeless body comes through the other side. Now this is where we pick up with a conversation between Omega and Dr. Devo, and they're talking about how they booby-trapped the portal so that they can't get in again, and they're actually baffled that they were even able to plant a portal without them even knowing about it. But outside of the persona that Nimrod lost, they really didn't get hurt at all. Nothing was damaged. And Omega, she's really shocked at this, considering the weapon that they brought on board was built to annihilate everybody on the station. They literally tried to open a black hole in the heart of the forge. And Dr. Devo, he laughed at this. He tells them to find joy in this revelation, because this revelation, it means one thing. It means that the mutants are scared. Now this is when we're taken back to Krakoa, and we see Mystique getting reborn in the hatchery. And with her being reborn, Magneto asked the simple question: let us know what happened. You know, they backed up her mind. They already know, but they want to hear her say it. They want to hear her say that she failed. And now Nimrod is now back online. And as these two are about to, start kicking everything into motion, then now they really have to start moving things around, because this changes things for them. Mystique tells them, wait, what about Irene? What about my wife? And their response to her is simply, what about her? And Charles and Magneto, they make their way over to Moira. But we get a little bit of dialogue here. So, some dialogue that Destiny said. And Destiny was pretty much telling Mystique that if you don't bring me back, if they don't let you bring me back, then you need to burn that place all to the ground. And that looks like what might be happening, because coming this fall is going to be Inferno. Because the thing is, Charles and Magneto, they really had no intention of ever resurrecting Destiny. Because they promised Moira, who was revealed during the House of X and Powers of X to be a mutant, and the ability to reincarnate in her own body with all the memories of her previous life. They promised that they would not resurrect Destiny for fear of having a precognitive mutant on Krakoa would only reveal the secret that mutant kind always loses to humanity. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I think this has been a ton of fun. Nimrod is freaking back, and things are about to get freaking insane. You got the mutant hunter of all mutant hunters right here, right now, and things are about to get brutal. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure that you're not missing any of the Hellfire Gala that's going to be coming up. And with that being said, until the next breakdown.